Hey guys, this is Michael from h2x. In this video, I'm going to do a speed run of a hot and cold water flow system, and we're going to try and get that done in under 10 minutes. Now, we're just going to get right into it, so let's start the timer. First thing I'm going to do is create a new project. Now, I'm just going to call this one hot and cold, and then I'm going to set the project location and choose the template. Now, choosing the template is going to automatically set my peak flow rate design calculation method based on a project that I've previously done. And I consider this a fair test because if you were using h2x, you would likely have some projects that you've used in the past that you would want to use as a template. And I would recommend doing that if you are using the software. Now, on here, I'm just going to select water as our main flow system that we're going to be designing. And that's going to create our project for us. Now, on the levels menu up in the top left-hand corner, I'm going to add a level to the top of our ground floor, and then I'm going to adjust the levels quite easily and change the finished floor height difference to 3.5 meters as per my specification. To add the plans in, I'm just going to click Upload Plans up at the top, and I'm then going to select both of my Rare Vision A floor plans for both the ground and first floor. Doesn't seem like it's brought the first floor plan in. Hope it doesn't hurt me too much on my time. On there, we just need to assign that to the first floor. Now, the paper size and scale should automatically be picked up by h2x if it's marked on the plan. Otherwise, we can change it in this card view, or we can use marked features on the plan to get that lined up. Now, to align these floor plans, we can move them over to the blue crosshair here. If the plans are lined up on a sheet and you know that they are both saved in the relative position, let's say you've sheeted them up in AutoCAD and you know that's the case, you don't need to bother with this step, but let's do it because a number of projects would need that doing. Now, if I switch over to design, this is where we can add our different cold water system design components. So I'm going to go over to the ground floor. I'm going to add in my cold water tank that will size based on the peak flow rate demand for a certain amount of time. My booster pump, which will size itself based on the index node path pressure losses, and my hot water plant, which will size my hot water return based on the index circuit pressure loss for my hot water circuits. Now, if I click onto that, I can change the specifications and change that over to a cylinder and make it 900 mil in diameter, which is what I'm going to estimate the size to be before running the calcs. I'm also going to turn off my gas inlet because I don't want to design that particular flow system today. Now I'm going to draw my pipe from my tank to my booster pump, and then I'm going to draw my booster pump pipe to my hot water plant. I'm then going to bring my pipe off of the Duke standby pump there, and I'm going to bring that up to a height of, say, 2.9 meters and run that over to this wall here where I'm going to connect it up to a riser, and then I'm going to use my multi-pipe tool to run my hot water flow and return together and run that alongside that riser. Switching over to hot water to get my hot water risers there and there. I'm then going to use my multi-pipe tool, pick up all three pipes together, bring them up to a height of 3 meters. I'm then going to bring them out and round and route them over to our toilet location, which is just at the top of the plan here. I'm going to run all three of these pipes together on both sides of this toilet layout here. So one up this side and one over on the right side as well. Left click each time I want to change direction or change height, as we've already gone through. Now for my hot water recirculations, I'm going to connect my pipes back into themselves, and I'm going to add a balancing valve on the return, just around there. I'm then going to pull that pipe work back and do the same on the other side. You can pull the pipe work back and add the balancing valve after the fact as well. You don't have to do that in a particular order. You just need to make sure that you do both things. Now to connect the fixtures, we need to grab the fixtures off the drop-down menu at the top and place them down where they're located. Now I'm going to place this WC, this one on the left-hand side, and then also this one up at the top. Now the reason I've done that is because they are essentially toilets in the 4 different orientations that we need, or 4 different locations that could be copied from place to place. I'm going to rotate this basin and stamp it down here and here. And I'm actually going to shift my pipework back against the wall to make it easier for us to move that basin closer to where that needs to be, as marked on the plan. Okay, do the same on both sides. How are we looking for time? Well, we've got about 4 minutes left. See how we do. Now, to connect this together, this whole setup, we just need to click on the fixtures, click on the pipes, hold control while we're doing it, and hit auto connect. And that will automatically route the pipework into each of these toilets up at the top here, and each of these basins. That, and you can see it's automatically changing the height of the pipes as well by the black lines showing as they're dropping down and servicing the back of that basin. Now we just need to add the basins for each of these two room types as well. So one left click there, one left click there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect up each basin first, holding control, auto connect that, and then I'm going to connect my toilet to that connection. But first I'm going to drop these pipes down because they haven't dropped down where I want them to. I want them to drop down a little bit earlier and run at a low level along this wall. I'm also going to adjust where they actually sit. Now we can also add different types of valves here, so we can add ball valves off the drop down menu at the top, or I can just type in A on my keyboard and stamp those in. I just need to do that on this side. On this, click on that, auto connect, maybe move our basin down a little bit, bring our hot water pipe a little bit closer, a point there, and then maybe one for the WC as well. Now, to copy and paste these layouts, you just got to select them using the multi-select, so it's a right click and a drag, copy, and then paste. And then I can just stamp and connect those up to work up on the wall there. I'm actually going to adjust that, make that a little bit tighter. Control C, Control V. I don't have to use the buttons down at the bottom, although I could do, to make sure that I select all of the pipework. Going from right to left selects everything that you touch. Going from left to right selects everything inside the box that you create. I'll be looking for time. We've got about 3 minutes left. Oh, we're doing okay. Still got to do a full level yet though. Okay, right click and drag, copy, paste. This again. Again. And then that's one layout done. Copy and paste that entire setup. So I'm going to go from left to right to select everything my box touches. And because we placed the risers, we can just paste that back in. And then we need to add in some additional fixtures down at the bottom here. So I can just select that, drag it down. We've got two on either side. Do you know what? I'm going to go with what I know. I'm going to select one at a time. Control C, Control V. Control V. Okay, let's go again. Control C, Control V. That. Okay, let's go. All right. At that point, the system's fully designed. We can check 3D to make sure that all of our pipes are in the correct positions as we want them to be. So we're going at a high level on each floor and then dropping down to each fixture. And then we're running at a low level connecting to each of the basins. Okay, it's all good. I'm happy with that. Let's run the results, turn off the 3D mode. Didn't want to go back to the settings there. Hope that doesn't cost me too much. Hope it doesn't push me over the 10 minutes. Hit results. Okay, we've got all of our main reticulation pipe sizes, currently based on BS 806. Go on to pipe methodology, we can show peak flow rates, we can show recirculation flow rates, and we can show things like pressure drop rates, whatever they are, through the pipes, through the fittings, through the valves, etc. And we can go back over to our plant room on the ground floor, and we can get our pump duties for both our booster pump and our recirc on our hot water plant. and they're both based on the index node path and index circuit calculations. Looks like we have made it under the 10 minutes, but let's go through that, show them really quickly, and that's the highlighted routes for each of those. Wow, 1 second to go. Obviously, we can take that out of the system as a full design report. We can run through all of those numbers, and if we want to make any edits, we can just make them on the plan, and it'll redo all of the calculations, and we don't really have to bother too much beyond doing that. I'm going to link another video at the end of this one, which is going to show all of the tips that I would use to design at pace like that. So how I would connect these a certain way. We've pretty much picked up during the video, but I'll go into a bit more depth and yeah, give you my best guidance. If you did like this video, please feel free to subscribe or leave a like on the video itself. Everyone genuinely helps. And if you want to see some more content, go and check out the rest of the channel. Thanks very much. I'll see you later.